Well, hi, everybody. On behalf of Diamond Billiard Products, we'd like to once again welcome you to the 16th Derby City Classic, coming to you live from the Horseshoe, Southern Indiana. If you were with us yesterday, you know we've begun our event here by bringing you the Diamond Bigfoot 10-Ball Challenge. We're going to continue that throughout today, tomorrow, and until Monday, till we crown a champion. And we want to express our appreciation to Greg Sullivan, Chad Charlo, and Diamond Billiard Products, along with Tournament Director Jay Helfert, for doing everything they can to once again bring you 16 of the greatest players in the world. Each player has put up $1,000 to enter this single elimination event. $16,000 has been added for a total prize fund of $32,000. They're going to be playing races to 11 games with a 40-second shot clock, all ball fouls. If the 10 ball's pocketed on the break, it does not count. It will spot immediately, and the balance of the game is played under non-call shot rules. This will be match number 5. Let's get right underway with our player introductions. Our first player is from Manching, Germany. This gentleman holds world titles in 8-ball, 9-ball, and straight pool. He holds U.S. Open titles in both 9-ball and straight pool. He's a 6-time Whirlpool Masters champion and a 3-time Derby City 9-ball champion. He's sponsored by Simonis, Predator, Kamui, Stroke Sports, Q-Wiz, and Universal Cues. Please welcome Hall of Famer, the Kaiser, Mr. Ralf Souquet. Thank you very much. His opponent from Quezon City in the Republic of the Philippines. This gentleman's a former Indonesia 9-ball Open champion. He's a runner-up in the World 10-ball Championships, and he was also runner-up in last year's U.S. Open 8-ball Championship. He's sponsored by Davini Cues and Bugsy Promotions. How about a nice warm welcome for Carlo Biado? Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much. You may go ahead and lag for the first break. It's rack your own format, and at this time I'd like to send it up to the booth to Mark Wilson and Bill Gibbs. Take it away, gentlemen.
Welcome, pool fans, as we bring you world-class pool here from the 16th Annual Derby City Classic. The Kaiser, Ralf Souquet, is up against Filipino star Carlo Biado. Here in the ACCUSTATS arena, offering insights and wisdom is my partner, Billy Gibbs. I'm Mark Wilson. Billy, yet another clash of superstars.
Boy, don't we, though, and this is a great matchup. This is going to be really interesting. Biado's rumored to be the best rotational player in the Philippines. Not for the game of rotation, mind you, just for the rotational, game that we're playing, 10-ball. But it should be really interesting. He's won the lag, too, it looks like, so.
10-ball on the 10-foot table, 4 5/16-inch pockets. This is a real test. Single elimination, $1,000 entry fee.
Well, and what we saw yesterday was really indicative of what probably is to come. The break is huge, and the break really played out huge all day yesterday. So,
thus far in this event, the break has really cost the Filipino players. They're great with the tactics once we get beyond the break, but they have not been terribly successful. That's a great break to open it up, though. Very square hit, a lot of ball action.
And look at the 1-ball mark.
Yeah, this is great stuff.
Biado's going to have a little bit of, difficulty getting down to the 2, but where he's at on the 1, he's got almost ball in hand to start with to get down here. So he's going to have to swing probably long side rail to long side rail and come up on the 2 that way.
The decision will be to drop under or above the 4. He's going to come just underneath the 4. Nice speed, nice touch. There's no way for us to assign a strength of one player over another here. The only question maybe would have been the break, but certainly in terms of kicking, tactics, and that, it just all on paper has to match up pretty equal.
Well, Ralph's always played well and always been good with angle and speed, and he has a very powerful break. So it's not to sell him short. This kid's just probably 20 years younger, and that does matter sometimes.
Well, Ralf is the epitome of
I mean, when you said you used him as a role model in your book, I would have to say that, you know, that's a wise pick.
Nice shot here on the 4. Does not have to do much with the cue ball because the 6 is lime ball just right on the spot next to the 10 ball. So the 5 ball's in the side. Now the 7 ball, which would be the robin's egg blue, the teal ball down there next to the 8, that's going to require a little something.
Yeah, he's going to need to get angle, drop down, and he's set up to do that right now. If you notice, he's got enough back angle on the 5 there that when he comes over this way, and he's looking at it right now, he's probably going to bounce the rail and just come out maybe an inch or two, enough to get underneath the ball, and then come down for the 7.
Yeah. Uh-oh. He got a little straight on this.
Boy, didn't he, though. And that's why I wanted to come over to the rail, to just prevent this very thing from happening.
Well, he can draw all the way back down because even if he doesn't get optimum position, it's a pretty easy rail first shot, but he does have to get down there pretty good. So this will be a big draw stroke here.
Well, the only thing is, when you're doing this, you're bringing the corner pocket into play a little bit if you're not careful. And he's got it back well into the zone he needed to be in. So
very nice speed. Wouldn't have mind getting just another inch out of this. But like Billy said, it looks like he has plenty. Good shot. Good speed
now
control.
that's one thing the Filipino players do well, isn't it? Rail first like that, and look at the speed, man. He got a little bit of angle here to get down to the 10, so that was well hit. He's coming out of the corner 2 rails, looks like underneath the ball, so. And he might be a little long, but it's pretty nice.
Yeah, good shot. Great way to start the match here. Locks in, takes his time. Hits the heart of the pocket, and with just like that, 1-0 Beato with the first break and run out of the match.
No, it doesn't look like his break is waning at this particular moment.
No, that was awesome. You know, this just figures to be just high performance, high profile pool playing, world class pool. I love it. I come here every year to watch it. It's always amazing how the standard goes up and up and up every year too. Now we're playing the 5x10s, Billy.
Well, and you know, you got 16 players here. I mean, when you look at the matchups for the day, it's pretty good stuff. I mean, all day long, it's a final.
Well, yeah. Look at the next match. You have Reyes and Morris. After that, Duel and Fine. And then late tonight, 9 p.m., just Bustamante and Appleton. That's all.
Yeah.
And that's it. Then we're done.
Yeah, for the day. Bustamante and Appleton, too.
My adrenaline rate, I won't be able to go to sleep till 3 in the morning again. The way this is going.
Well, we're going to get another look at Beato's break.
Leading 1-0, coming off a break and run out here to start the match. This is a race to 11. Another good square hit. Ball found the corner pocket. A lot of ball action.
And look at the position on the 1 again, Mark.
Yep. That's a bit random. It's hard to obtain a shot on the 1, but when you're blessed with that, boy, it really bolsters your confidence to make a ball on the break and come to the table with a good open shot. You just feel like you're in charge, and he's got some momentum really seriously going now.
Just wants to be careful to get an open shot on the 2 here. So pocket the ball and come between them. And he's done that nicely.
Did he go too far, though?
I think he did. I think he's going to be all the way down. If it gets another roll, whoa, not enough.
Yeah, disappointing because now position, it would be tough. If you had the masse, if you go rail first, which the 2 ball's not really laying nice for rail first, but if you did, then you could have the cue ball come around the table pretty hot.
Well, he's going to take a good look at this. I think he's going to end up going rail first.
I don't think he's going to go rail first to make. I think he's going to go rail first for safe. Just let the 2 ball drift over to the middle of the, in this fashion. Good speed, good judgment. There's no sense trying to force it there. He did not get the right shot there to be real super aggressive. And even if he pockets the 2 ball rail first, he doesn't have to come out nice on the 3,
right.
And he can scratch with it too. So better not give Ralf Souquet many open innings.
Well, I mean, Ralph's in kind of a spot starting out, but let's see what he comes up with here. He'd probably get the cue ball behind the 4 is my guess.
Now, professional pool at this level, you will come to the table facing this exact circumstance many, many times and sometimes consecutively. Ralph's not going to like this outcome at all, and that was distance. It wasn't a poorly thought-out shot. It was just that difficult that you might mishit it by that much, and that's only just a fraction of a millimeter or two is all it takes to make it look like that versus get it all the way down table and lock up the 2. But Biado is rewarded for his rail first safety. Oh, I thought I saw a little flinch there. Body-wise,
that's how top the pockets are too.
I would love to see that again. I mean, because it was the camera angle was so good with that. I think, or you could even slow-mo it and maybe see. But nonetheless, if you replayed that one at home, you would definitely, I think, see a little head and shoulder because he only had part of a pocket. He had to power up, and he found it distasteful. Here again, Souquet comes to the table, facing very little. Gonna have to kick safe. 2-cushion kick safe. This is neat. Real super soft. Super soft. Good shot there. Perfect.
He's going to make a good hit.
Oh, man, what a shot. I want to clap. Very well executed from long range. No, he did not lock him up, which he did have a chance to do, but still a great return from where he was at.
Well, and Biado's got something here. You know, he can just bump the 2 over and come in behind the 3. Just like that. And now Souquet's kicking again in a rough spot.
Yeah, yet the third inning he's come to the table to start this match with facing very little or nothing, you know, and this is pro pool. You don't get open shots.
No.
You have to earn them.
Souquet really, got the best of that last hit. I mean, it could have come up to where the cue ball dropped in between the 3 and the 2, but, it just didn't go that way. Biado's keeping the pressure on him. Look at this. So close.
Great attempt. Yeah, good job. Ralf Souquet, the master. And the one thing that he has going for him that some of the other players, Ralph has patience. He will kick and kick and kick and fight you over every ball. And thus, when you look back and say over the 15 years of the most recent history, who's the most consistent player out there who finishes in the top 4? It's by a wide margin, Ralf Souquet. By a wide margin.
It always surprised me that Ralph never took up one pocket. Because for exactly those reasons, I figured he would have become, a master at it by this time.
Doesn't much care for the one pocket attitude or the gambling associated. Ralph's more of a tournament, and he kind of specializes in rotation games and straight pool.
He told me not too awful long ago, he said it's not really the game. He said it's just nobody in Germany plays it. So, you know what I mean? I got nobody to play with.
Biado staggered that one in, and you can see his cue ball direction was off. The speed was off. And so, unlike amateurs just glad to hit the pocket any fashion. Here he missed the ball inside the pocket, and that's why his positional play was off. It wasn't his judgment. It was the fact that he didn't hit the ball as pure.
Let's see if he banks this. That's an interesting question, too, with the Filipinos, where they're at with the thought. I think he'll play safe here, but
it's not an easy safety either. It looks like he might be banking it, like you suggested. Nope. Oh, great save. Yeah, well done. Yeah, much simpler than I was thinking.
Good cue ball control, too. Boy, that was great speed on his part.
This might be the 5th consecutive inning Ralf Souquet comes to the table facing this. So,
yeah, facing a kick shot.
Right. And this is high-level pool. That's what it is. And sometimes you'll go for long, extended periods, maybe 20 innings of facing shots like this before you really get that optimum opening to really do some damage.
Well, and you got to hand it to Biado because Biado's keeping the pressure on. So, I mean, there's something to be said for just his level of play at this point.
No real.
It's going to be ball in hand, Mark.
Yep. And once again, that wasn't a bad decision on Souquet's part. It was just the difficulty of the shot. And he knew there was a chance of failing it, but he also knew there was a chance to come out of it real good. And he kind of weighs the percentages. And you just have to try to make something happen sometimes. And it was an ugly angle to have to work with.
Well, Biado's got it pretty much in control from here, obviously, with ball in hand. just pull this back a tad. Well, he went forward just as well. And he's going up for tight position, too. So
the lime colored ball goes into the side pocket. Then the teal blue one is the 7 ball. That will be next. Then the 9 and 10, traditional colors. The manufacturer of these balls is known as Cyclop. This is the TV set. They also have standard colors. Very nice set of balls.
And they do play well. They play like old Centennials, which the formula that they use to make them is from the Albany Hyatt factory up there in New York.
Well, Biado settles in on the 10 ball here. Optimum position. A virtual certainty.
And we're off to a good start.
Biado 2, Souquet 0.
And, Biado's break is really bringing this about. Let's see if that 1 ball comes up in the corner again, because this is what I think he's doing. I mean, he's got it rack figured out. And he's parking that cue ball real well. That's the thing about the younger players. And Biado's the younger of the Filipino players.
Mm-hmm.
And they just really understand the gaps in the balls. They really pay attention to this stuff. Whereas a lot of Americans, query whether or not it makes any difference. The Filipinos have no doubt, and the Chinese, as far as I've seen from their players, same thing. They pay attention to the gaps. And let's see if Biado gets that same position again.
Here we go.
1 ball up here in the corner.
Biado to break in rack number 3.
And he's parked the cue ball up there. 1 ball's taking its place. The 8 ball gets out of the way.
9 ball went in the pocket. Good shot on the 1, just like you suggested, Billy.
Well, that's got nothing to do with me, Mark. I mean, the guy's controlling the 2 balls that well.
Yeah, he is.
And this might be why Bustamante said the things he said about Biado, too, because, when you got a break like this, it's devastating. And the only other guy that I've seen this week or in the last couple of tournaments is Van Boning breaking like this.
Nice shot. Nice speed, nice touch, perfect angles.
Boy, it is good speed. Look at that.
Beautiful.
3 ball sitting right there. So 2 ball, 3 ball, and the 4 ball on the side. So, and if you'll notice, the 4 and 5 are on the same side of the table. So all he has to do is get on the 4 where he wants to be here, which is pretty much going to be yanking the cue ball, I'd imagine.
Little backspin here. Does not want to go way back. Just past the 8 ball would be great. Well done.
Well, he took your advice.
Well, I mean, that
Just
was obvious.
past the
Yeah. The interesting part of this, we've seen just a little bit of everything so far. We've seen a break and run out to start the match, so super firepower. Then we saw a very tactical game. Biado won, and now we're back at the fast break offense mode. This has been a very, very well played match so far on both sides. Despite the fact that Ralph's losing, you really can't fault any of his executions. Decision making, it's just he's never been blessed with an opportunity that was offensive yet.
Yeah, what he's looked at's been kick shots.
6 innings in a row, he's come to the table with just a very tough defensive play in front of him. Yeah,
got a little out of line here, maybe.
No, the lime 6 ball. Then this is real good.
Yeah, you're right.
He worked himself close. That was well played. I mean, this has been a series of just perfectly played shots.
And that's very nice.
Boy, this is just the way it is figured up on paper. This was going to be extremely hotly contested and well played.
Well, at this point, I think if you ask Souquet how he's feeling, he'd say his butt's getting tired.
Yeah, he's definitely wants to get up there.
He's parked in the chair and, just watching.
You know what's interesting, though? If you look at Ralph's facial expressions, mannerisms, and countenance, you would know he's totally prepared for when the day finally arrives that he does get a shot, as Biado moves the 10 ball closer to the pocket by design. He's got a pretty thin cut here on the 8.
Yeah, that might not have been the wisest choice there, but
this shot,
see how it goes.
Well, it goes in a lot easier when you had all that momentum and hitting 30 balls, prior to.
Sure.
Not an easy shot at all, though.
No, but it's up and down the table, and that's the issue. And he played it that way, too. Got the second rail and back to the middle of the table. So this kid's no dummy.
Yeah. Now, a very routine 10 ball now to take a 3-0 lead. Well done. Souquet 0, Biado 3.
I'm getting a look at exactly what Bustamante was talking about in Tunica this year, because this is the first time I've seen Biado play this particular speed.
Yeah.
And this is on a 10-foot table, by the way. So, he has a limited amount of time on a 10-footer is what I'm saying. Biado ain't been on a 10-footer a bunch.
Super tight pockets, too. I mean, they don't have tables like that over there. They have tables that have reasonably snug, but nothing like this.
Well, they don't have felt over there, right?
Most of the time. It's been 15 years since I've been there, so I'm sure they do have some Simonis tables now for the pros. Well, here we go. Rack number 4 about to get underway. The one ball been coming back to his left, and he's been making a ball and getting a shot on the one so far. Once again, the one ball goes right where I suggested. 3 ball, yes, it worked its way into the pocket.
And the deuce came up for the side this time.
And look at Ralph, completely unflustered. I mean, you see other guys shaking their head in the chair, displaying some negativity, which kind of further emboldens or empowers the opponent that's playing well. Ralph, totally under control, all in the master plan. He's got this figured in. This is just how you play pool at this level.
Well, one thing's for sure, too, with Souquet, he's sitting in the chair watching Biado break, how he's breaking, where he's breaking from, and the result he's getting. So he's going to school right now when he gets his time to break.
Big draw stroke here. Needs to grab. Look at that shot. Gorgeous.
Yeah, right on the money.
Laid it right in there.
And look at the angle he's got to get to the 4 mark.
Made that look like it was just simple and automatic, but he had to make the cue ball go there. Didn't want to go there.
Well,
he's chopping through these racks.
One shot at a time. And he's got a little bit to deal with here. He's going to draw it over here to the side rail.
No, he's not going. He's just coming back a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to go further than you have to here. He didn't hit it perfect. He missed the pocket just a little bit. So, interesting.
He's got to miss the 9, though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, he didn't mean to have this steep of an angle because he hit the high side of the pocket a little bit was what I'm saying. But nonetheless, I mean, when you're talking about, he almost missed, that's how well they're playing. Rather than he almost made it. Look at that. He uses the 9 ball to get back in line.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, awesome. awesome pool here on the 10-foot table.
That was a heck of a shot right there. Looked like it was just a nudge, by accident, but that was by design, absolutely. And look at his angle on the 7. This kid knows what he's doing.
Yeah, this would be his 3rd break and run out of 4 wins. So, by far, of all the world-class performances that we've witnessed on this table, this is by far the best so far.
Well, I'll tell you what, I liked watching Van Boning, in the same way with a break. But Biado's making the run out behind look just as superhuman as Van Boning did.
2 balls away from claiming a 4-game lead.
And pretty routine at that.
Yeah, goes without saying. Great job there, Biado. Break and run again. Biado 4, Souquet 0.
I mean, if you're Ralf Souquet, what are you thinking? I mean, my goodness. I mean, watching this.
That's what I love
hard.
about Ralph. This is all in the master plan. This is unforeseen. He knows this guy plays this well, and Ralph knows that he can play this well, and he knows he's going to have to maximize each and every opportunity, no matter the score. Ralph is the most unaffected guy. I love his game for that because he fights hard when in front or behind. And as well as Biado's playing right now, do not count Ralf out of this match. It's a long run. Ralf will give you a heck of a performance. Even so far, he hasn't made any mistakes. He hasn't made any terrible blunders. He just hasn't been blessed with an opportunity.
Well, this is what he's fading right here. And Biado's got everything moving the same way. Now, the one got a kick from the 2 that time, so he's not going to have his position.
Or it would have been in the same location. Now, Souquet comes to the table yet again, facing little or nothing.
Well, you know what? I might consider cutting this one in the side now, because he's going to get natural position on the 2 if he does. Now, I'm not saying it's the best shot, but, after sitting in the chair for a while, I got to say this might be the best shot I get for a while.
Well, no, he's not going to force it. It's just that if he goes real soft, there's a chance to get safe with it as well. And so it's not desperation time. It's not a white flag. It's a could the safety possibly come out better than what this might be? No, probably not. So that's why he would choose to play it. And instead, he did choose to play in a perfect safety here that didn't turn out. So realistically, Ralph's first mistake of the match right there, if you call this a mistake.
Well, I mean, if he'd come up behind the 6 ball, not so much. It's a good safe at that point. But leaving it wide open, that is a mistake. Because I think Biado's going to shoot and go up and down the table.
Plus, he's got his nice rhythm, too. This shot plays much easier when you've been at the table for 40 balls.
Absolutely. And there it is, up and down the table. But he hit the 5, so...
Yeah.
But it's left him with angle. I mean, he's not hopeless here.
No, but that does... I mean, Ralf has to be happy about that the cue ball didn't leave that back rail. There's at least a crack of light.
Biado misses a 7 here, which he did. Look at how perfect he's going to be on the 3.
Yeah.
That was a heck of a shot,
sure
man, to get by that 7 like that.
Now, Biado's going to have to play a billiard on the 9 from the 4.
That plays real well. I like that, yeah.
He might play for the bank because it leads the position easier, where the billiard on the 9 does not necessarily give you a good position either. So, and he could plan for just a pre-planned safety. No, this is position for the billiard on the 9.
Well, and the question here, Mark, is can he get the 4 ball into a position where it'll get him to the 5, with the billiard. And see which way he goes. There's the billiard.
Right in the heart of the pocket.
And the 4's up against the 8. I don't know, but it looks to me like he's blocked in at this point. From looking at it on the overhead, he can back cut the ball into the pocket. But like you say, position on the 5 is going to be real suspect.
Yeah, we'll test his shot making here.
He'll probably play safe here.
Tuck the cue ball underneath the 10, or well, maybe you can go at the 4. I'm not even sure. Yeah, you can go at the 4. Couldn't get position from it though.
Everything too.
All right. Well, that's a little relief for Ralf, anyway.
Well, it was a shot. I mean, Biado threw it up in the air, but I mean, he felt good about it. How could he not? So,
well, we get to see the Filipino kicking game now come into play. Tagged it squarely. Cue ball went directly into the side off the end rail. So, here we go, Ralf. And this is where Ralph's continence really comes into play, because now he has to take advantage. And if you're over there getting frustrated and impatient and antsy, then sometimes a routine run out like this escapes your grasp, and that's when you can get blistered 11-2. But Ralph's way too mature for that.
Well, and the other good news here is he's got ball in hand to start with, so he's been in the chair all this time, and now he's got a practice round of 5 balls to just get him in stroke. And I think that's what we're going to see. He's right perfect on the 6. 6 leads directly to the 7. The 8's in the side pocket, which is going to lead directly to the 10 in the corner. So, it's just a little bit of wake up and go,
Yeah, after 7 innings, Ralf comes to the table finally with an offensive chance.
And this is going to be about speed control right here. He wants to get down.
Well, he would have liked to have gone a little further, even if he went to the other side that much and had to go to the other end rail. But still doable.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he can come up here, just go to the end rail and back up and be straight in on the 10. So it's not that it's any big problem. It's just the speed would have been a little nicer.
He's drawing. No. Oh, he was using inside, I see. Oh, boy. Look at that drift into position. The cue ball didn't naturally go there. He made it go there. Great shot. Long corner pocket now.
Very nicely done.
Gorgeous. Souquet 1, Biado 4.
And, you know, after sitting in the chair for all that time, you got to be really glad to get up with ball in hand and 5 balls on the table.
And that's how complicated pool is. You're going to get some good chances, but you're also going to get hit with some flurries, and you have to be able to withstand those flurries mentally and still play your game.
Certainly, I agree with that. The one thing that I would add, if you will, is that it's just that moment when you've been sitting there watching that break deliver, that break deliver, that break deliver, and then you stand up and you've got to shoot a long shot that may be an open shot, but it's difficult and you're cold.
Yeah. It definitely amplifies pressure. No doubt about it.
That ball in hand, man, you stand up with that and you've got a wake-up call. I mean, something to get you a little warm.
Yep.
So let's see how Ralph's break works now.
Boy, I'd be tempted to go where Biado was breaking from, but hard to fault the Kaiser. He possesses a pure dynamite 10-ball break as well. Oh, yeah. I don't know that he's going to make a ball, but I still approve of the contact that he made on the head ball.
And the balls didn't quite open as well, if you notice either. They're a little more clustered. A lot of power. He got 5 balls up table. And on a 10-footer, that's a big deal. I mean, that's a lot of power. But Biado is going to have to probably, I would think, he's going to shoot here. He's got a little bit of an off angle, but it leads naturally to 2 if he makes this 1.
Yeah, if he makes an aggressive play here, there's a good chance to get a shot on the 2, so that would maybe, but I don't know if he's going to play offense. Well, maybe he is. Yep. Kind of raised up out of that one, too.
And he's left an open 1 ball for Ralph.
The partially blocked pocket down there was so mentally and visually distracting. Yeah, it was only slightly impeded, but it's still, you could kind of see he raised up out of that shot as he delivered it.
Well, Souquet is assessing the situation, taking a look at whether or not he's going to easily get on the 3 ball and where the 3 is going to go, which is probably going to be a combination, the 3-4. So he'll want to get down table a little bit here. And he's done just that. That's enough to get over to the 3. Could be just about where he's at right now, and it'll be fine.
Well, he definitely needs to get on the combination pretty well, but he can play the 3 off the cushion onto the 4 and play the 3 ball if he gets trapped here. And he can also play a safety.
I think he's going to go for the combo, Mark.
Yeah, he fell on it really good. Now, there's no doubt that he's going for the combo. Quite a bit more real estate on the 5x10. That's 50 square feet of playing area versus the 9-foot table.
Wow. And the tight pockets got him there.
Well, it was more the control of the 3 ball that he was trying to maintain. Got it. If he hits it thinner, then the 3 ball trickles further, and he was trying to hold it there. But yeah,
he did cheat the pocket a little bit on the angle, but, you know, nonetheless, on 90% of the tables, that would have dropped. These are tight pockets.
Right. On a 9-foot table, that goes in. You know, that's what I'm saying. The real estate here is 50 square feet, where the 9-foot table is 40.5 square feet. So you say, well, that's, 20% larger, but it's a lot bigger than that because it's all the hardest area of the table. Okay, let's get another look at that miss, and you'll see it's by design. He's trying to control the 3 ball as well as pocket this. Hit it just into the outside portion of that 4 5/16 inch opening.
Sure did.
Biado, a long get here on the 3 ball.
Good news, the 5 ball's waiting for him. So just pocket this and get a little bit of angle.
Oh, pure as could be. A nice angle, too. Now he's going to be able to drift over and not have to worry about the 9 ball so much. He'll be able to play the 6 in the same pocket that the 5 ball goes.
Well, I want to make sure that he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't get hooked here is the big deal. Just drifting above it. Now getting down to this. Wow, look at the position of the 7 underneath the 10 mark. You know, from where Biado got with the angle, he can pocket the 6 pretty easily, but.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be interesting. He's going to go 2 rails to get to this, it looks like.
That would be high, right-hand English. That's where he chooses to go. Looks like that's where it's at.
It's got to come underneath the 8, too.
I don't know if he got there.
No, I don't think he did.
So now we're starting to see a couple little mistakes here. This position there.
Yeah, he pointed on the rail there. Did you notice that? Where he was wanting the cue ball to go
Sure.
to.
If he makes the 10 here, it's just a sick roll for Ralph. Yeah.
And Souquet again. Oh,
Poor
look at
Ralph.
this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's brutal. But that is what happens because Biado is such a good rotation player. He figures to kick and hit the 10 with velocity, and it's just bad luck because you can't play for it. But it does have a couple pockets it can go in, and really, realistically, Biado's made more mistakes than Ralph so far. But he's also had more shots from the break,
shots at
more
the
open
table,
looks, you know. So, and he's played very well. I'm not criticizing him in any fashion. I'm just saying that Ralph has played stellar.
Here it comes. Here comes that 10-ball kick, Mark. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, good solid impact. And good things happen when you hit them. You know, a lot of players, they barely contact the 7 ball or the 6 ball, whichever one that was, and then you don't get the ball action on the 10. But the good players, they're going to tattoo that thing, and that's what happens. They get 3 rails out of it or whatever it might have been, 2 cushions.
2 cushions on the side with the 10. And the 1 ball's come up.
Boy, yeah, his break is working good.
Yeah, but he didn't really get the shot that he was looking for.
Well, you generally don't. You know, he's been, you know, ahead of the curve of how many times you get an open shot, even if you make a ball. But
I don't think that 1's going by the 4 either, so he's probably going to lock it up here.
not easy from this angle. Distance with the cue ball would be his ally.
If he cuts this in.
No, 2 cushions. He's not cutting it in. 2 cushions below the 10 with the cue ball. Good shot. Yeah, there it is. That's a rotation player, folks. That's what they do to you. Now, yeah, Ralph can see it, but figure out something from this distance and get your speeds just right and everything. You know, that's what I'm saying. This yet another time Ralph comes to the table with an ugly look.
Yeah, so Ralph can kind of do the presidential wave as he goes by on this. I hear you. There's
just
not much
tough.
going on.
Yeah, and this is one of these that is that just those millimeters or fraction of millimeters that you can look good or bad from that distance. Great job.
Nicely handled.
Great job there, Kaiser. Now don't fall in. Oh, another brutal roll. What a succession of tough innings for Ralph. Yeah, he played it perfect. Bill, you couldn't possibly forecast it.
Well, he got the hit, and he stopped the one on the ball, and when he stopped the one on the ball went. The 5 fell, you know. So.
Yeah.
And that was long distance. All the things that you mentioned were exactly what Ralph was dealing with, and this is the result.
2 cushions here. He can play offense and try to get a 2 cushion safety. Very well designed. Didn't work out, but maximized his opportunity there with that shot.
Well, Biado hasn't really got an offensive shot here.
This is what I love about Ralf Souquet, because you see him facing tremendous adversity here and playing against a guy that's playing outstanding, perhaps the best pool of this whole tournament so far. And Ralph is dead in it, playing every shot for all it's worth. You know, I mean, he's just tough. And now you know that's how he got to be. And that's not a very good safety either, by the way. And that's how he got to be the guy that finishes the most consistently. No one that's Ralph almost never loses to a guy that he's supposed to beat.
Right.
And it takes one of the guys that's his equal to put on a superhuman performance to get past him, and that's why he's always in that top 4. Yeah, Ralph taking no chances here.
I mean, he's come out a little bit.
Yeah.
Speed's not quite dialed in yet.
Well, I think it's that hard. I mean, we're so used to absolute perfection, and here just the corner leaks out, but it's a greater distance. And I just can't criticize anything that Ralph has done in this match so far.
Well, Biado has got a shot here to the corner pocket, and if he can draw it over to the side rail, well, he's not even drawing.
Well,
he's
no,
following,
you can't.
so
Yeah,
he's definitely going to.
You don't have a choice on this one. You got to roll this in or else not play offense. Yeah, Biado. Ralf Souquet has played the better pool. Biado's had the better opportunities. And I'm not pulling for one over the other either, by the way. I'm just saying what I'm seeing.
Well, Souquet's going to analyze this and take a little time, I imagine.
Yeah.
Because he's got the 7 ball sitting there right there in front of the pocket. So playing this in the corner will give him shape for the 3, but getting the 7 in there can get him started. And he went to the corner. Hit a little thick, but got it.
Oh, awesome shot. Awesome shot. World-class shot.
Now he's just got to draw back to the 4, and it all pretty much lays routinely. You know, this is one of the things that I've noticed, you know, watching these players. They don't like to jam this and stun draw this back. They like to wrist snap this and float the ball back because they can hit it easier and it'll go in the pocket. And that's just what we saw right there, too.
I don't know that wrist snap was the best descriptive term there, but he liked to hit it effectively, very low, so they don't have to shoot very hard, so it generates a lot of spin with an economy of power, so the pocket's forgiving and gives them greater control because it's a shorter swing. Because when you watch wrists, you know, like, especially like Ralf Souquet, I mean, it's just hanging there like a wet dish rag, but he doesn't flip it.
Well, that's interesting. We'll talk about this sometime, but there's a whole thing that Ralph does with setting up, which has to do with that bracelet he wears on his backhand, and kind of cool. But he's off and running now. He's going to get another game on the board, and it'll be 5-2. So.
Yep.
And we're going to get another look at Ralf Souquet's break right after the pocketing of this one. 10 ball heading for the pit.
10 ball goes in, Souquet 2, Biado 5.
I was really merely saying that only because in the difference in those 2 strokes, you know, people watch the draw back, and the draw shot is one of those things that's a lot like, you know, the break. People think there's one way to hit it, you know, to get it to draw. And there's at least 3 ways to hit a draw shot that have nothing to do with anything other than how you want that cue ball to respond. And it's a little trickier when you're putting all that spin on the ball, you know, the underneath spin, as opposed to stunning it back. So it was interesting to see Ralph choose that way to go because the pockets are that tough. So when you jam the ball in, it can definitely spit back out. We've seen that several times yesterday in the matches.
Efren Reyes now entering the arena to witness what goings on. He will be up next playing Rodney Morris.
Let's see if Ralph breaks from the same side of the table, Mark.
Yeah, he's heading for the Biado side.
Yep.
Scott Frost now in attendance. Mike LeBron, Mike Durbin, famous cue builder.
Had the ball going in the side there, the 9 ball. And a little tough roll on the 1.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. Sometimes it's like pulling teeth. He makes a great break. Cue ball hops around a little bit, but not blessed with a good shot on the 1.
Well, and the ball kicked around there, too. The 1 got kicked around twice. So
this is a case where Ralph making all those balls on the break is a terrible disadvantage. Now he's got to push out, and, you know, he either has to kick at this, which is it's not the right place to kick. He has to play safe, and he has to consider tying something up here with this and just have a kick after that, like try to make something tough where it's a multiple inning game. He's going to get the worst of this exchange, so he has to, or at least he has to factor in that he may end up the worst of it.
That's a good call, Mark.
Yeah, he's going to move that 2 up. No, not mission accomplished there. I thought really he should try to push the 3 down by the 5 and just get it past that side pocket. Maybe it would have been a little bit easier to manage.
Well, he's given himself an angle to make a 110 kick.
There's no way Biado's going to kick at this. This would be... I guess he can see the edge of it then. I understand that, if that's the case. But there's no way he would kick. He would have to give it back if it was only a kick. So he can see it. Great shot.
Got the cue ball behind the 3, too. May have slipped out there a little bit, but it's not enough.
No. Yeah, that was a tremendous rotation shot. Comes up all the time in 15-ball rotation.
Souquet's looking at the 2-rail approach to this right now, so here we go. 2-rail kick at the 1.
And a very small ball, too, by the way. Yep. Tough break, Ralph.
Well, I believe that'll do it. Biado with ball in hand. And everything's laying not only open, but pretty much in the same general vicinity of everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So there are no real tough, position shots here.
Yeah, the
Maybe
4, maybe.
The 4 to the 5, maybe, yeah. But I don't think it's going to pose a problem. You got to like Biado's mechanics, too. I mean, as much as you look at mechanics,
Yeah, he can
he's
see the
set
ball,
up in a
soft
line.
speed.
Look at this overhead. Shoulder, wrist.
Good shot there. Maybe we get another look at that safety. Oh, boy. Never a nice shot.
Boy, that's all billiards, too.
Yep. Yeah, that is the side that defensive side of the game that 15-ball rotation really highlights. Now, where he got on the 3, I don't know how easy it is for him to get on the 4.
Yeah, he got a little straight.
He may be coming all the way back, with a little spin. He didn't bump it. Now, the 10's even well, maybe not.
He'll draw off the 10 probably. He's going to slide off this ball and come over to the 5 off the 10.
Just has to be mindful of that corner pocket way back down there if he's going to power draw it.
He could go forward, too, here, Mark. Go forward off the 10. Just use right-hand spin.
No, and looking at it, I think you're right. The draw, and it depends upon how you land on the 10, that corner pocket back there underneath him is in play. Oh, great shot. Great shot. Look at how beautiful that execution
I'm
is.
telling you what, look at this. Man, that is impressive and strong.
He just didn't want to get straight, so he's going to have to take a moment to collect himself here because if it's just a little angle. And he kind of tapped the first cushion with his cue prior to getting down on that shot, positionally speaking, where he wanted it to hit. So what that tells us is that he engaged the pocket in the perfect point for that to happen, because you can also pocket it and have it not happen. And thus the term missing inside the pocket. That's only for high-level players, because amateurs are just happy to hit the pocket. But these guys have to hit a particular side of the pocket to maintain this degree of consistency.
Well, 3 rails around the table here, and he's right in on the 10. So let's see how he pockets the 8. This is a bit of a challenge.
Oh, he flinched. Man, I'd love to get another look at that. That's the 3rd time he's raised up.
Well,
see it, Billy?
He had a funky angle, too.
Yeah, it was distasteful, and that's what brings it about. When you're not confident, then your mechanics break down.
And I was watching the overhead, so I didn't get to see him lift up, Mark.
Yeah. I don't know if we can get a chance to look at that, but boy, if you had it at home, you could really see it again. Ralph, is this a bank shot?
No, I think he can cut this in the side, Mark. Just cut it in and stay right there, just over the rail and back out. Nice, smooth stroke.
Yep, you're right, Billy.
And
tough
he
shot.
missed it.
Well, that was a tough shot.
Well, I'm
tough
telling
get.
you what. But I don't expect to see Ralph miss that, I mean, Biado's angle was a little rougher because he was going 4 rails, really eventually 4 rails to the 10.
Okay, Biado has that long, tough. Here we go. We'll test his shot making. Watch his head here.
Yeah, this is just staying down for sure.
He was a little bit smoother with it, but we see a little head lift there. Efren also does that. All right, here we go. Nice shot, though. Perfect position on the 10 ball.
Very good speed coming back up table.
Biado can expand his lead back to 4 games here and leads the match 6 games to 2.
Well, you know what? We'll take a look here in a minute at the him lifting his head up on that shot. You know, I'm told by my producer, here it comes. Now, he's got to power up, and he's on the rail on the cue ball.
Yeah, there you saw it. The head lifted. Kind of lunged at it, trying to get the power up. And then when you have to hit a part of the side pocket, because you only have a small opening there, easily missed.
I think that might be a big part of it, too, that, you know what I mean? He was on the rail so distinctly there. He was hitting above center and may have just overcooked it a little bit with English.
Well, Ralph needs to have something go his way here pretty soon.
Here comes Biado's break again, though. This is worth watching, I'm sure.
Yeah, this is just what he doesn't want to have happen, is have Biado get on a little run. And did he break that dry? Yes, he did. So
yeah, he didn't get the results he's been seeing up to this point, for sure.
That's a mild reprieve.
Well, and Souquet's looking at, you know, what he's got coming into the 1. I don't know that, you know, he's looking at the 6 ball there to see how he's going to get past it. Just hitting the edge of the 1 and not bumping the 7.
Well, he's locked in like he can cut the 1 ball in, which we couldn't tell if he could get past the 6, but clearly the way he's queuing up, he can hit that side of the 1 ball.
Yep. And there it is. Very nice shot. Now he's gotten on the 2. Difficult position, but he's on it.
No, this will be a safety. No reason to take this one on.
Well, the position of the 3, I think, might help make that decision, too. You know, because he's only got a combination up in that upper corner pocket.
Well, you're not going to play a bank or a thin cut because it just doesn't lead to often enough a good result. So you might as well play safe here.
I have a rule. If I can have control of the table on the 3rd shot, then I take the shot on.
Well, he did take it on, too. He's going to get he's the recipient of a backdoor safety, inadvertently, which does happen. And that's factored into aggressive shots. At about 15% of the time, the balls turn out not that great for your opponent, which adds to the success ratio.
I would have to say the safety was the right shot back there, though. I'm in agreement with you. You know, banking that ball and trying to get out with a combo, that's like 5 shots in a row of struggling.
Right. Anytime it's 50-50 and then the next shot's 50-50, well, now you're down to 1 and 4, so that's just pool math. But I'm not going to second-guess his decision. Maybe he felt like the safety was so tough that had just as good of a chance, if not better, of turning out favorably, and as it did, it worked out his way. Good shot there by Biado.
So Souquet's going to be able to make the hit here, but how do you get the balls apart? You know, this is going to be tough.
He may have to come into this one off the end rail and hit the lower half of the 2 and try to let the cue ball feather back in behind the 3 coming backwards. I don't think he can hit the heavy side of the 2 very easily.
I think you're right. You want to hit the 2 thinly off the end rail.
I don't think he's going to roll up with super soft speed. Yeah, like this.
There it is.
Great shot. Great shot.
Didn't quite get back on the 3, but that's about as good as you could ask for.
Right, from where he was at, and he had a chance to have it work out. He hit the proper side, and he hit at the proper speed. And that's what I'm saying. Really, so far, Souquet has played the better pool. The score doesn't indicate that, but just in watching the movement of the balls, Ralph has not had the offensive opportunities. And Biado, to his credit, has kept the pressure on in fashions like this. I don't know how many innings Ralph's come to the table with a kick or a safety is all that he has, and oftentimes very difficult ones at that.
And that's the key point, I think, that Biado has kept the pressure up. You know, when he's had to return something, he hadn't heaved in anything. He's kept everything under control. And Souquet's been facing this over and over again the whole beginning of the match. And that may be that and the break why the score is what it is, different.
Very entertaining match.
Well, this is the kind of stuff that a real pool nut goes, kind of spooky over because it is great play.
Here's a great shot. 3 cushions. Yep, and it slipped. He was trying to get to the long rail first, give himself a big ball, and at that speed there's a chance to get safe.
Well, the table plays a little longer too, because it is a 10-footer, so Ralph may have misestimated just a bit.
There was a couple options there, but that one had the best percentage of turning out Ralph's way, even though it might have been a slightly harder shot to hit. So, very interesting. That's high-level pool right there. Realizing he might not hit it, but there's some negative result expectation there, a negative expectation with that shot, no matter how you go about it. And he just felt that was the best percentage play. It wasn't just willy-nilly. He didn't think them all through.
Well, let's just see how Biado gets on the 5 here. He's going to have to come off the 5 to get up here for the 6, which is going to be pretty routine if he stays above it.
These guys are playing with a 40-second shot clock, and what happens is you get 1 extension per rack of 40 seconds, but you don't have to declare it. If it expires,
right,
then it just automatically reverts to you get an additional 40 seconds. On the second 40 seconds, there is no second reprieve. It's just that you have to get the cue ball struck before the other second 40 seconds elapses.
See how far Biado draws the ball back here? He went forward 2 rails. Boy, he really forced that. And he's right on top of the ball. Look at that position. How strong is that?
Beautiful shot.
Boy, I'm telling you. That's one that can go right by you, but that was a great shot.
Didn't hit the pocket as clean as he would have liked. He's still in good line. But
he's going to come 1 rail to this with spin, getting on the 8, and it's all downhill after this. Well, he brought the 10 into play a little bit unless he draws out of there. So he's probably going to draw it. He's going to be leaning over the table kind of funky, yeah. It's a 10-footer, Carlo.
It's almost so. Remember the time he moved the 10 ball over and had that thin cut on the 8 ball on the side earlier? Yeah. This is almost laying kind of like that. He might try to just move the 10 closer to the pocket and take a long, thin cut into the side. Because if you try to draw it with a bridge from here, it's very missable, much more so.
The bridge being the big issue, I agree with you. Missed them both, too.
Well, he got the 10 over by the pocket like he won. He would have had a nice shot on the 9, but he did miss the 8. And now Ralph comes to the table. Balls arranging themselves in such a way that he has a bank shot.
Well, I think he can cut the ball in, too.
Can he? Yeah, if he can cut it, that's the optimum play.
He banked it. Used the 10 for a sideboard.
Yeah, he realized it wasn't laying real good to go straight in. So that wasn't random because you could see he missed it straight into the corner pocket by a good measure. And boy, this is right on that edge of whether he should follow or draw. It looks like he's going to have to draw out of this one. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think he can follow out of this one. No, man. And so now, if he misses it, it'll be because he hits the long rail first. He will not overcut it for sure. Great execution there. Hits the heart of the pocket.
And he had to hit that slow, too, by the way, because if he hit it hard, it slides into the pocket.
Right.
Important to remember that when you're shooting that, sports fans.
Right. That's where the effective backspin. That's lots of spin, but minimum speed, so it can arc prior to getting to the side pocket. Great job there. Ralf Souquet collects his 3rd game.
We watched a mistake from Biado there. A position mistake that led to the shooting mistake. But that's the first real glimpse of fallibility I've seen,
Yeah. Here's our early numbers, and it says 677 Souquet, 846 Biado. And you'd say, well, Mark, why do you say that Souquet's playing better? The reason is Ralph has been denied access to the table, so he hasn't had the opportunity to make many balls. Biado's made way more, but he's also made a couple more errors, and a couple of the errors sometimes ACCUSTATS is pretty unforgiving. I'm a bit more forgiving in my assessment, so they just go by numbers, and I go by the feel of it. I'm a little more artist-driven.
Well, I'll say one thing. Our producer, Pat Fleming, came up with a great system with the tournament performance average. That's how this all began.
Absolutely. Man ahead of his time. Okay, Ralph got a shot, or a ball in anyway, not much of a shot. Perhaps first opportunity to play a decent safety. He might be able to play a bank shot coupled with a possible safety.
Well, the bank shot's not a bad way to go here. I mean, it leads to natural position pretty much. You just don't want to roll this. You got to hit this with a little pace and come off the side rail, end rail, side rail with the cue ball, and you come back for the 2.
If he takes on the bank, I think he's going to really emphasize cue ball behind the 5 ball.
Well,
no, yeah, it was just too much to do, too much movement. Well, Biado's got a chance to hit the one for sure, but there's not an offensive play here.
Yeah, I think when it's all said and done, you may find the cue ball down there underneath the 9 and the 1 ball somewhere over there around the 5. Or even on this end of the table, should he go 2 rails around with the cue ball. 3 rails around with the cue ball, excuse me. Let's see what he does. He's going to send the 1 ball that way and the cue ball right there on that side. Just stop right behind the 4, kind of. Nope. No, he went the way I said originally. Didn't quite get there, but still distance, and not a bad thing to leave for Souquet to mess with. I think Souquet is going to try to put the cue ball underneath the 5.
I don't know about that, because that leaves the 1-2 exposed. I think he's going to bring the cue ball back 2 cushions just like Biado just did and put the 1 over there.
Okay.
Well, he's queuing up a low, so he's not going to do my shot. No, he is. He's spun it.
He's just killing it, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And he got there, too.
Beautifully executed shot. Yep, knowledgeable audience applauds. And now this is a very difficult ball to hit for Biado.
Well, knowledgeable commentator. Good call, Mark. Right on the money.
No, this is tough to hit because it's going to want to warp long.
This is real tough to hit.
It has to be 2 cushions then. Yeah, way long. Yeah, that's the problem with that. At that speed, and you can't get down and dig in. So, hey, Ralf Souquet earned himself ball in hand.
Well, you know what? At the end of the day, that was a good call on the safety, too, because it jammed it up real good when it was all said and done.
Right. Yeah, these guys don't miss a trick on that stuff there. It's not guesswork because they did it so much and had that same situation so many times. They try to exploit every percentage of possibility. Good control there. Well, he's going to have to get back around 2 cushions near the side pocket to play the 4 ball next. Pretty routine shot. 2 cushions. How's his speed? That's the issue. It's nothing's quite strong enough. No, I think he's a little weak. Yeah, this is tough. Okay,
and
here's a
replay of the safety here.
Yep. He had the right-hand English on there, so he didn't have to put much power into the 1, but he could get a lot of travel out of the cue ball.
And you could see the cue ball lengthening out coming down the table, too. He had that calculated out nice.
Well, Ralph fell short on the speed here. This is a tough, thin get if he wants to cut it in. Looks like he is going to take it on, though. Super long bridge to reach it. How'd he hit it? Oh, wow.
Perfect.
Hey, he deserves some applause for that one. I mean, he's getting a little bit. Well done, Ralf Souquet. Now, the lime green 6 ball is near the 9, and he's just now taking a look at how much of the pocket, if the 9 comes into play at all. Appears that he has a full pocket.
Well, I think I put my hands together up here in the booth, too, for that last shot. That was really, really nice. And to get this good on the 5, what can you say? Trick here is just not leaning over the table too far on the next shot.
Hit the pocket a little heavy.
He's going to be nice, though, Mark.
No, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, he hit it well.
And he's a right-handed player, so he's going to be able to lay out here a little bit and get to it, I think. But when you get near that side pocket, you don't want to be underneath the side pocket because you can't quite reach it.
No, even for a tall guy like me on a 5x10, once it goes past there, on a 9-footer, no problem for most of us. But if you forget that for just a moment, you will pay.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about the 10-foot with the small pockets. There's never a shot that you just take as like, oh, this is pretty automatic. I got it. Because as soon as you disrespect this table, it will bite you instantly. It's almost like it knows you took a break. Real smooth there.
Nicely done and left an angle, yeah, to get underneath the 10. Very nicely done. Souquet's really good with his angle and speed. That's always the case. And like, we were saying earlier, that 4-0 lead, can kind of dissipate.
And you can see how still he keeps his head through the delivery. And I would say, from my estimation, the most fluid transition from backswing to foreswing in the game is Ralf Souquet. And that's where we mainly miss. If you've aimed and set up properly, the only thing you can major screw up is that transition. If you get hurried, excited, nervous, that's when that distorts that tip just that little bit that costs you on the tough shots. And those, the tough shots is what brings that breakdown about. When you're confident, you stay real fluid.
And we got the 10 ball straight in the corner, and it's going to be 6-4.
Good job there, Ralf Souquet. Trails in the match now, 4-6.
Yeah, you watch that big decimating break and, followed up with a good run out. And you think, well, you know what? He's just going to run off and hide in this thing.
Yep. You can see Ralph's stats are definitely climbing here as he accumulates balls. He hasn't really made many mistakes. He's definitely made less mistakes than Biado has. Biado's just been blessed with more great offensive opportunities, and he's also supported it with a couple killer safeties in there. And then, I don't know if you remember, but he did get a little bit fortunate, the kick on the 10 ball that time. So, anyway, I've been involved in every 10 ball match thus far. This is our 5th one, and this is by far the best played, and they've all been good.
Yeah.
So, what a neat thing. Okay, Souquet opts to go back to the other side of the table, his original side of the table for the break. Love to get something done good here. Good square hit. Ball hits the pocket.
The cue ball well, too.
Look how many balls go in. 9 ball.
They haven't stopped falling yet. Long shot on the 2.
4 balls on the break.
But it leads right to the 3.
Oh, if he makes this one, he'll really have some momentum back on his side.
Well, I'll tell you what. He smells it. Because he only has to make the 2 here. And it lays natural to drop right onto the 3 with angle. So,
on a separate note, we didn't mention that the 10 ball does not count on the break in any pocket in this tournament, nor can you use a jump cue. Good shot there. Hit the heart of the pocket. Well played. Very smooth.
And, he got about the worst of this he could get. As far as where the cue ball ended up. But it's still fine. But
it was ever so important that he make that ball, so he chose to just use pocket speed rather than any position because he knows he's going to have some kind of a shot. And just good decision. You have to get that ball in no matter what.
And this is the one that matters right here, the transition from the 3 to the 5.
Oh, glassy smooth. Nice finish to the stroke. Head still.
And he stayed off the rail. That'll do.
Yeah.
Because here, the 6 and the 5 are right next to each other, and they lead right to the 8. 8 leads right to the 10. So, pocket the 5 ball, Mr. Souquet, and I think we can say hasta la vista. Nicely done. This is a great example of what you were talking about, Mark. He made the balls on the break. Now he has 2 tough shots in a row, right up there on the 5. Now it's all laying right in front of him. And he's going to be back in the match, breaking at 6-5.
Well executed. Had to hit the high side of the pocket to manufacture that angle.
Yeah, he'd have been fine if he was straight in here, too. It wouldn't have really mattered either way. This way he'll come across the table, shoot the 10. No, he didn't. He just dropped down, so.
Good shot. This would be Ralf Souquet's first break and run out of the match. Biado has 3 of them.
Well, he's not done yet either.
All right, 6-5 now. Souquet trails and will be breaking.
And we're up to 804 on the tournament point average. So, we're in the same range.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, total performance average. I kind of misspoke there. Total point average.
Total performance average. Okay.
New lips.
Okay, let's get a second look at this last break shot. He just crushed him. 4 balls go in.
And watch the cue ball here. He parks it so nicely.
Boom.
Look at that.
Boy, you better do some training if you want to hit him like that. That just never happens unless you've been training for years and you're highly skilled.
Well, I'm telling you, that is a nice break, isn't it?
6'5". And Ralph really hasn't had much fortune, He's had to manufacture these games. Yeah, the standards every year just get better and better as we look on. Ralf Souquet's next break.
Got a little bit of a kiss moving it up there towards the pocket.
Oh, looky here. Going to get a shot, make a ball on the break. Ralph off and running. Now, a very tough layout here.
Real tough, yeah.
Very tough. Yeah. I always think when I look at games like this, they should award two games if you get out from here. Yeah. As opposed to when the guy makes 4 balls in the break and gets a shot.
Well, there is something to the rolls in this game. When people talk about being lucky, it comes down to there's always rolls. But he's got an opportunity here. I mean, it's not like he can't get out. I mean, once he's past the 4 ball here, this all lays downhill.
Well, that's a long ways over the 10. Oh, pure as could be. Look at that shot.
Well, the 8 and the 10 are tough, but look at the angle he left himself with, Mark. He's going to be able to draw this thing over to the side rail and come out just about even with the side pocket, and he'll be straight in on the 3.
Yeah.
So he's got the ability to get on this 3. And when he does that, and perfect. So now he's just got to pick apart this little cluster because all these balls are in succession right here. 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the 6 to the 8 being the transition in the rack.
Yeah, if he gets out here, he epitomizes his other nickname. He's called the Surgeon.
Yep.
Oh, well played. Using the 6 ball, bumping them apart, picking up perfect shape. Yeah, that's surgical precision.
Yeah, and that's a good call, too. Danny likes to call him the Surgeon, and that's why. You're right.
Yeah, very smooth. Even in the background, you can see some of the audience smile looking on because they know what they're witnessing here. This is a master at work.
Probably bumped the 5 here, too. Nope. Didn't need to, didn't do it.
The lime 6 ball will lead to the 8, and that's what he's looking at now. What angle does he want to get routinely on the 8 rather than have to create a big shot down there?
Well, the question is, do you want to be above it or below it? Which way are you going to come down to the 8? I think it's easier to come below it and go over and come across the table high towards the side pocket, but beneath the side.
Right. Now, it wasn't laying exactly for that. Now he's got kind of a straight on this. I don't know if he can 2-cushion forward.
This is tough.
This is very tough. Yeah, he fell in the wrong angle here. He's going to have to really force something or manufacture something. His body language indicates that as well. See,
well,
bends over.
Do you just draw back to the rail and take a long shot on the 8 here? I mean, man, that's a tough shot.
He might draw back with a little bit of right and try to just spin down and get up, a diamond short of the side pocket and settle for that if that's available, and just be a shot maker from there. That might be the best decision. Yep, there it is. That's what I was trying to describe. Ralph showed you.
Yeah, well, that's a tough shot.
Right, but that was what was available. That's reasonable.
Available, exactly right. So that was your 2-game margin there when you get 2 games for getting through that rack.
Well,
that was it right there.
If he gets through this one for sure, and that's why. Yeah, that's what you have to come up with to do this.
Yeah, because this is wide open again. Tough shot.
So this is that shot where that real fluid transition comes into play.
And boy, look at the delivery.
Would you mind if I clap?
Oh, man, not at all. Not at all.
Oh, man, look at this. Stop shot. Compose yourself because you've bled off a lot of energy here. Now, you don't want to fail. This is
Exactly
disaster.
right.
If you have a little letdown, you've worked your way through with a super tough rack. Good. Used a little extra pace. Didn't try to be cute and just hold it. It wasn't a perfect stop shot. Super tough rack.
And now the applause.
World-class pool right there. Break and run out. Ralf Souquet. Yeah, this is artistry. 6-6.
And the stats are almost the same, Mark. Look at that. 836 to 835.
Awesome pool.
And Biado has made 3 more errors than Souquet, so how's that?
Well, I felt it earlier on, even without the stats. I just feel it. What a match.
Yeah, and, that last rack was what a description because, going through that rack laid tough. Mm-hmm. And Ralf just executed perfectly all the way to the end. And when you were saying that about not letting down on the 9-ball, that's one of the things I tell young students. It's like when you make a really tough shot, you just might want to stand up, go powder your hands, and come back to the table like that's the first shot you're looking at because that keeps you from letting down as well.
2 consecutive break and runouts for Ralf Souquet, and he's still at the table.
See how he parks this.
Oh, got a little rhythm going now.
Oh, and he got it parked good, too.
Did he get a ball? No. Well, that's the way it is. You can't ask him to hit him any better.
No,
you can't ask him. That's just the fortunes. Yeah. So it's a race to 5, folks, and boy, I got to tell you, my adrenaline's up. Unbelievably good match.
Yeah, this is great play. Even though the tournament performance average is a little low at 835, I don't think it indicates the play we've been looking at.
Super high
in this
standard.
particular case.
Yeah, we're noticed that 10-foot tables diminish your TPA by 50 points anyway.
By 50 points? Is that
Mm-hmm.
a number?
Well, it's definitely declines. 10-foot table, 4 and 5 16 pockets.
Saying, yeah.
Of course not. It's a lot tougher. Yeah, anything in the mid 800s on this is super form. It's 920 on 9-footer,
Right.
So.
That's you had 50 points. That's what I was asking. Yeah.
Yeah, you get in the mid 800s here. That is definitely world class play. Ralf comes to the table. Good shot here after the missed bank attempt by Biado. How's he going to do here? Okay.
It'll work.
Yep. I got to tell you something, and this is a cool thing. After all these years, I've waited, but the ACCUSTATS phone app is coming out.
Right.
And how awesome is that going to be where you can just set your own and you don't have to stop and write them down and stuff. And it's so educational because it really shows you the value of the 1-ball or creating unforced errors. And here, that's what these guys are doing. That's how they're playing this well. They're not turning the table over on open shots, just very seldom. Oh, Ralf missed it. He's not going to get the terrible punishment here.
I think he got hidden, though.
Yep.
He got a little fortunate there with a bounce back.
But that would be an unforced error. It's just that he didn't leave a shot. But, yeah.
Well, he got a little fortunate, though. So we can say that it turned around a little bit there,
Yeah, for sure. Ralf finally got a little break. Now, Biado, he's going to kick, and I think that's going to be the 2-cushion kick. No, he went for power. It was so far apart, he couldn't be cute with it. How's it going to turn out? Not too bad. Ralf will be able to hit the 2.
You were talking about earlier that they play a lot of kick shots with power in rotation. That they like to hit the ball hard or whatever?
No, not necessarily. No, they play them delicately. A lot of times
okay.
they go 2 cushions. They're playing a purposeful result.
Right.
Yeah, it's not just bludgeon the balls and see if you get something. No, there's always a design or a shot in mind.
Well, I like the 2-cushion kick there, too. A little softer, maybe roll off the edge. But, he chose to go another way.
Okay, Souquet leaves it long and tough. Biado can hit the 2.
I think he's got a shot to the pocket, too, in between the 3 and the 9. I don't know that he's going to play it, though. I think he wants to come off the edge of the two, bring the cue ball upstairs, but he went the other way.
Oh, boy.
And he's left a shot on the side, too.
That was a catastrophe.
Yeah.
Shaking his head. And, you know, I have to tell you, Biado has a tough hill to climb. He's tied in the score, but it's all Souquet. It's been all Souquet all match. He's
Well, the
the best of it.
definitely shifted, yeah.
But even early on when the momentum wasn't his way, Souquet had outplayed him. And that puts a lot of pressure on you, because don't think that Biado isn't aware of that as well. Most people do not fade the flurry that Biado put on you to begin with. Mentally, they break down,
that's
weaken a
definitely
little
true,
bit.
Yeah.
And Ralph withstood that and has come back, you know, and now he has momentum on his side big time. If the score is tied, Ralph's ahead. That's the way I feel about it. And that's through no favoritism. I don't mean it like that at all. I'm just saying what I'm seeing here, in my opinion.
Right.
I don't really tend to pull for anybody here, except I just like to see world-class pool.
Well,
Whoever plays the best deserves it.
Souquet takes the rack apart pretty daggone well. And that's what we're looking at here. This is all execution. Everything's wide open, and everything leads to the next thing here. The only tough ball really is the 7. 7 to the 8.
You know, Ralph is so choreographed in terms of even the steps from the chair to the table. You never see wasted energy or anything. He goes, he looks his shot over, he designs it, he visualizes the real result that he wants, and then he almost always obtains that from all the familiarity of doing this for so many years.
Well, he was just then looking at the angle he's going to get here on the 7, which he wants to leave just a little bit to bounce the side rail and come back out.
Trouble.
He got a little straight, but, you know. You know, Earl likes to go 2 rails forward here, which, you know, side rail, end rail, and, you know, come around that way in.
I think Ralph will also like to go 2 rails forward here.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Souquet is one of the other players that will play this shot with regularity. Let's see which way he goes.
Oh, that deserves some applause. That's a good shot.
Yeah, it was. Well, I mean, it's a shot that's evasive because it leads to this long shot here. But, you know, what he's got going from the 8 to the 9, that was by design. And he's got the angle he needs to get there. So that 2 rails forward was the right way to play the ball. Now just up and down the table. And
yeah, he didn't try to get all the way back and force the pocket. He took what the table was willing to give him, and this would naturally get to here. Trying to do something extra was not the prudent decision.
Well, you know, on a 10-footer, you could hit this easy, but I think you're better off. You know, he did hit it easy, but I think you're better off there to go up and down the table and come back to the center like you're playing on a bar box. Because you got so much space and a good area margin of error.
And for the first time in the match, Souquet has the lead 7-6.
Now I think Biado may be sweating what you were talking about because it has caught up, and the TPA average indicates that at 8:36 for Souquet, 8:15 for Biado. So you know what? Your feel was pretty good on the execution there, Mark. You know, your feel TPA came through for you.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. It's not.
This is a tough match. I mean, this may be the best match I've seen so far.
No, for sure. Yeah, nothing been like this. We've had a lot of good ones. This is absolutely outstanding.
Every one of them, like a final. But I mean, nonetheless,
I'm going to put my order in right now to obtain this DVD.
Yeah, you like 10-ball, don't you?
Well, that's 10-ball. No, look at this. I mean, look at this performance on a 5x10.
Absolutely.
Don't think Mosconi played better than this. Don't think that. Crushed him. Oh, boy. Here we go. Not the easiest shot on the one, but a gettable one.
Well, and good results with the pocketing of the balls, too. The 6 and the 7. gone from the table.
Mercifully, the 2-ball landed in such a place that it's not real hard to get position on.
Well, if he plays a bank here, he's got natural position to it.
No, I don't think he's banking this. I think he's cutting it.
No, I'm just saying, if he did play the bank here, he has natural position. So, I mean, he's got his option to cut it in, bank it, whatever.
I think it's first cut it, second would be safe, third would be bank. Oh, he overfanned it.
Now, see, where I grew up, that order would definitely not play out because that bank laid pretty daggone natural with position. So, you know what I mean? Growing up in Cincinnati, man, that's something that you don't even think about. A lot of times you look at that, and if you got the position with the bank, you play.
Yeah, but tight pocketed 5x10s.
But
you don't want to turn it over on an unforced error. Ralph figures to make that shot more often than the bank.
And it's by preference, you're right.
No, Biado. No.
And he's in line.
Yep, falls on it very nicely.
You just draw back a little bit here, and he's right good for the corner.
And don't think that he's not mentally tough, too, because he's used to playing from behind. He's used to playing at this level, and you often find yourself behind. Now, he's been hit with a big flurry.
It sounds kind of silly, but I don't even think of the Filipinos that way because, man, they play on equipment that's anything but good. And they come over here playing like this. So, behind is still paradise for them.
Yeah, the greatest attitudes in the world.
Biado is a little straight here. This is the key shot. He just wants to come across the table and get shape on the 5. And wants to be playing it in the corner up here, which he's done.
Yeah, good decision. Not take a chance. Don't bump anything. Make sure you're clear.
Yeah, and it lays well for the 8. So the 8 to the 9 is no big transition. He can just come over to the rail and back out and leave himself a little angle for the 8. And that'll lead him right to the 9. Could be straight in after shooting the 8, and it wouldn't hurt a bit.
Good shot.
And he got the angle that way instead of going to the corner, so all is well. Just bounce the rail and get out here, and straight in wouldn't hurt a bit. Here I want to be straight in or beneath it. He got a little above it, so he'll follow probably if he goes.
If he can't kill it, looks like he can draw.
He's drawing, yeah, he's coming back.
No problem. Awesome job. Good recovery here. He just come bouncing back from a flurry from Ralf Souquet. He ties the match up 7 games apiece. We got a race to 4 going on here now.
Yeah, I don't think that Biado's thinking anything but, let me back the table for a moment, Mr. Souquet.
831, 829 your TPA, 7-7 the score.
Virtually the same everywhere. We could just about do the lag again and, you'd have it dead even.
This is one of these matches you don't want to end, because it's not going to be anyone loses. It's just going to be somebody didn't get the last inning.
Well, it's whether Biado can take control of the table right now and run off and hide again. That would be the big issue here.
Yeah. Well,
because in reality, like you say, it's dead even.
Tall order. Yeah, it really is the way it figured out on paper to begin with. How could you really cite a favorite? Biado back to his favorite spot to break from. He's had good success there with 3 breaking runouts now out of 7 games. And he's won. Marked the cue ball. He broke dry. Yep. 10 ball clear down table.
And the 7 and the 4 tied up a little bit, but the 4 has a pocket. And really and truly, Souquet, if he can miss the 3 ball, he can get underneath the 2. Cutting this in the corner, cutting the 1 in the corner. And that's what he looked at there. He just has to get over to that long side rail and back out. Or just draw over there, really. I like going over and coming out, though, going underneath the 3. He went above it and hit it and got the angle. That didn't hurt him.
I think this might have been by design. I don't think he could get past it, and I think he just thought if he bumped it, maybe something good could happen. I don't think it was necessarily that he knew he had to make the 1, and he just figured he'd play safe if he didn't get the 2, but by colliding into the 3, now he's opened up a couple other possibilities. Now, the way this lays, I think he's just going to come across the table and get the cue ball back near where it's at right now and play the 3 in the corner.
Yeah, either corner, though, the ball will go. I think it'll go past the 10.
Well, even if it does, it's a lot trickier. If he can come all the way across, doesn't have any visual obstruction. Hit it a little heavy, or hit it a little bit thin with the high left.
Now, this lays interesting because he does want to be on the side of the 10 ball when he's shooting the 4 ball here. You know, from the other side of the table, I don't like it so much, looking at the table and looking at the monitor. I really don't like being on the side opposite the 10 shooting the 4 ball.
Looks like he's rolling, too, so he can go 2 cushions to the end rail. How beautiful
he's come
is
up
that?
perfect.
That got him close. Nice shot.
That got him perfect.
A smattering of applause, but he made that look so effortless. It looks automatic, and just good decision making by Ralf Souquet. Now he's in line here.
Yeah, the table after this shot is controlled. The 5 and the 6 are both down there together. The 7's up here in the open. And the 7 to the 8 might be the shot in the rack that makes the difference just because of the distance between them, but that's all it is.
Oh, did you get that little funny angle where you kind of come at the 6 depending upon how much effect? Oh, no, he's all right. I'm looking at the 7. Awesome. This is one of these matches, Billy, where I always say, we'll sell you the whole seat, but you're only going to need the edge.
Well, nicely done there. And he's left himself with an angle to get up here for the 7. Go to the end rail, the side rail, possibly, and come down to, somewhere in the vicinity of just above the 10. And he'll have angle to get, over to the 8. Same way. There's 1 rail, 2 rail, and anytime Mr. Cue Ball. And that'll do it. Now we've got the virtual, down to the other end of the table for the 8. And 8, 9, 10 lead to each other. So once again, Souquet has dismantled a difficult rack.
Yeah.
And that's good speed. He looked a little edgy there, but it's not going to be straight in. It's left him with angle, and that's a good shot on a 10-footer.
Yeah. Anytime you can get your bridge hand down and have this type of a shot on the ball, that's a great shot on a 10-foot table.
Coming up for the side. Nicely done.
I don't think he's going to play it in the side.
Play it in the corner then. Either way.
No, he is playing it in the side. Okay. No?
No, corner.
Okay.
Just left himself a little longer shot on the 10. No big deal.
Good job there, Ralf Souquet. Nice, tough run out. Regains the lead, 8 games to 7.
And 849 to 831 on the tournament performance average as well. So now, the 1 game difference, a little bit difference in the TPA, and Biado's in that chair. And you know what? If I'm sitting in that chair now, it could be for keeps. Because we're talking 3 games till it's over for Souquet.
Yeah, that's a tall order, but
it may be a tall
it's doable.
order, but he's breaking well.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's definitely doable. I've seen him run more racks than that in 10 ball. I saw Bustamante on this table one time do 7.
Yeah, that's
Rafael Martinez,
isn't it?
7. And played good on both ends of it, too.
Yeah, that's kind of punishing no matter how you look at it.
No.
But if I'm Biado, I got that thought, what I mean?
These guys have that super kind of break where they can't get a run like that, but still getting the shot on the 1 ball, making a ball on the break 7 times in a row or 3 times in a row and getting the shot on the 1 is super tough.
Parked that cue ball well, made the ball on the side, and look at the 1. In the pocket. Deuce in the pocket.
Where's the 3?
3 ball down here.
3's got a
for the
little
corner.
help, maybe. Oh, not really. The 8's more of a hindrance than it is a help on this shot because it's half over the pocket.
Well, you know what? It is a sideboard, though. You know, if it's close.
No, it's more of a hindrance. It because it's too far over. If it hits the rail, it double kisses out. It doesn't help it. If it's just a third of a ball that way, then you're right.
Well, he don't have to do a lot. Just go across the table here. So let's see what he gets.
Yeah,
And he did use it.
Looky here, favorable kiss too. Yeah, very nice, and he deserves it. Great shot.
If the ball's close, man, I don't really worry about it. As long as it's coming down the path pretty straight. Out, it's, definitely going to double kiss. You're totally right. But that laid in such a way that Ralphie used it.
Now this layout, huh?
It's over.
Well, let's not go that far. I've learned my lesson on that. But I will say this, very achievable.
Yeah, well, 7 leads to the 8. 8's going to come right up to the 9, and you're on the 10. So
right, it would require an execution there now. That's not the danger of having to play position. You have position for it.
He'll come back here a little bit.
I mean, naturally,
straight in.
Biado's feeling like it's for sure over, barring an unforeseen miracle. It'd take divine intervention to stop Souquet, is what he's feeling like.
That's what he just looked at on the 7 ball, too, Mark. If you noticed, he lined it up. If he goes forward just a little bit, he'll have the perfect angle to come straight up on the 9.
Yeah.
And that's right where he's at. So, end rail and back out for the 9, and it's going to be pretty much see you later, bye for sure.
Looks like he might be queuing up to go 2 cushions here. Yeah.
Yep, he did. Yeah, and he got over top. He didn't get over top the 10 either, so that was good.
Yeah, very good. This would be for Ralf Souquet's 3rd break and run out of the match. Biado also holds 3 break and run outs.
He's going to draw back here. This is a little bit of a shot.
Well, he's kind of got his good momentum, so this ball plays just a little bit easier than if it does if you come out of your chair cold after the other guys hit you with a big flurry. Super long bridge, though. He always does have that big fluid stroke. Head still. Good job.
No problem.
Heart of the pocket. And with that break and run out, Souquet expands his lead 9 games to 7.
That's the interesting thing, too, because with those balls laying there, the guy is probably likely to get out. And you're thinking, like I was thinking, well, go to the end rail, bounce back up, leave a little bit of lower angle, come across the table, straight in. Souquet, he plays it 2 rails out, gets straight in on the ball, so he has to draw back for a little bit of shot on the 10, but no problem.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the rack, that shot can propose a lot of problems depending on what you have to do with the cue ball. Cinching the ball, it's one thing, but, it was an ideal position for the 10. Let's just say it like that.
Right. It's a 5-hour drive for me over here from St. Louis. I don't know if you know that.
And it's an edge-of-the-seat experience for you?
Well, not the drive, usually, thank goodness. But as we look on, as Souquet prepares to break, it's worth it. I would drive 5 hours each way to watch one match like this.
Oh, boy, that's strong.
Ball in the side pocket. 1 ball. Leaves him some type of a hit at it. I don't know if he can billiard the 2 in. I don't know if he wants to bank the 1 ball cross corner and play shape with a little bit of a backdoor safe possibility.
I think he'll thin the 1 ball and just bring it to the middle diamond on the end rail down here and send the cue ball downstream. No, it doesn't play right that because the 2's in the way for that. Well, even if it bumps the 2, it won't go in, I don't think.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Just make sure you get the cue ball. Play the cue ball underneath the 10.
Underneath the 10.
And just play a speed that the 1 doesn't come clear across the table. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I think he's going to play the bank, though.
He may. He's on a roll.
Well, it's a 2. No, you were right.
Well, he didn't come all the way,
He didn't hit
though.
it quite thin enough, but it's going to chip the 9 and maybe be okay. Ralph will be disappointed if Carlo can shoot right to the 1, which it does appear that he can. Ralph will be disappointed about that. He knows he could have did a little bit more with that shot. Yeah.
Well, he didn't take any chances with bumping the 2, by the way. You know what I mean?
No.
And
I certainly am not going to criticize Ralph's selection there. I thought he could have played the cross corner bank with a backdoor safety possibility that was pretty likely.
Man, Biado's going in between them. Bump the 9.
Okay,
so.
that's going to work out great. That little bump. Oh,
but that won't work out great.
No. Oh, that's kind of unfortunate, too. From that range to clip the 9 just right to scratch. That's highly unlikely. He did a good job getting the 1 ball where it was at.
And that may be goodbye.
Well, yeah.
We're at 9 now. Souquet shooting ball in hand. That mistake right there might just be the end of it. Yeah, and our producer just mentioned in my ear, with a 10-footer, you're never out, which is true, but nonetheless, when you look at that key turnaround shot, that might have been it right there. And I could see you driving here for 5 hours just sitting on the edge of that seat, just waiting to get here. Every year I would bet, too, because I don't think the kid in you's grown up yet.
Yeah. Good point. I am. Sometimes I wonder about, I'm 58 years old. I feel like I'm 25 when I wake up. I act almost that stupid, too.
Yeah, I'll be 58 this year, and I know what you're saying. I mean, it's like, it doesn't seem like time has passed much. Not mentally, anyway. With my body, not so much, but...
Little draw, gonna have to dig down the arc around. No, he played in the corner.
Well, yeah, he's laying pretty open here.
No, he's in good shape.
He's laying pretty open. Just come back across the table and, maybe getting from the 5 to the 6 might be a little bit of effort just so you don't get straight in on the 5. But
yeah, he wants to have the cue ball on the same line that it's on now for the 5 next that easily transitions to the 6. And he'll probably go 2 cushions to get this side rail, and maybe just the cue ball be a little closer to the 5.
That's the most natural way to get there for sure.
What's a little
just
bit
what
bounce,
he did too.
Little bounce, got a little straight there, a little flat. No, yeah, another foot with the cue ball would have been ideal.
And just for you people at home, that's only so that he gets off that side rail. That's what it's all about with this shot. Because the 6 to the 7.
He's going to have to go for the side pocket now for the 6.
6 to the 8's what I meant to say.
Yeah. And he wants to play position for the side.
And he got there.
Gorgeous shot.
Now that was power.
Yeah, great execution.
And that was your light wrist snap stroke, too.
Not wrist snap. No, that's effective backspin. That's just how low you hit it, because he didn't shoot hard. Wrist snap sort of indicates power. And I'm saying it's just tip placement.
Yeah, well, like I said, we'll talk about that after the match.
Well, for those of you at home, do not snap your wrist if you want to maintain tip integrity. Loose wrist, but don't flip it, because that distorts the tip too much. Oh, does Ralph have the angle to slide closer to the 9, or does he have to play a stop? It must be a stop because he's over here measuring the 9 from there to see if he likes it. And he knows this is a huge game here.
If he it's going to put him on the hill.
Right.
So
well, and then,
huge for that.
Yeah, the other guy cannot have any more bad rolls or mistakes. Okay, content, stuns it forward a ball's width, makes it play just a little bit easier. These are pretty slim pockets over here on the side from this angle, so
I think you'll be just fine.
I do too, but
just roll it in and take what you get there on the 10, which will probably be straight in.
This is where the one-piece slate comes in too, by the way, because you don't have to wonder about those slate seams rolling off. Well, at that speed, it wouldn't have made a difference. Oh, and he didn't want to be on the rail. He takes a moment to collect himself. Great composure.
Boom.
And there it is. Ralf Souquet, first to the hill, leading the match 10-7.
And Biado's looking at, oh, man.
Yeah.
Because this is a wall. And Souquet's up around, with 50 points at it, 925. So on a 9-foot table, this is a 925. On a 10-foot table, an 877 is the same as.
Yeah.
Top world-class play.
You can learn a lot about playing high-performance pool right here in this match.
To the boys back in the back, I'd like to see the break average. I'd like to see what that is if they've got it.
All right, Ralph.
Here we go. 778 for Souquet, 625 for Biado. Wow. Now those scores both being high, that indicates the play in the match too.
Yeah.
So the break's huge on this table, let's face it.
Here we get a look at the last break of the match for Ralf Souquet.
Will he have a shot on the one? Will he pocket the ball?
Crushed him squarely. No matter what the outcome.
No.
Yeah, nothing. But even though he broke dry, you really can't ask for much more than that. Does Biado have a chance to billiard the 10 in? That's pretty far from the pocket. That might be a little bit much off the 2.
No, but he does have a chance to get from the 1 to the 2, which is huge. Because once he's on that 2, the rack lays pretty open. 2 to the 3 is pretty natural if he's straight in for sure. So just getting over to the 2, that's the mission. Pocket the 1, over to the 2. Not too low.
No, good shot.
Put the brakes on.
Optimum. Well,
Nicely done there.
Yeah, showing some good composure himself.
Well, if you notice, he's picked up his pace a little bit.
Yeah, he hasn't had much to do here for quite a while. He did win a game in the midst of all that, but that was it.
A game, yeah.
Now he hit a little thin. He's okay. Yeah, he has not been pocketing as purely as Ralph has throughout the match.
Just has to get on the 6. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know either. This is... Wow. I don't know about this at all.
Well, the 7 now is in a tricky position. The 7, the 8, and the 9 all down there together. And Biado shooting the 6, back cutting it into that pocket probably. I don't like it. I do not like this.
Yeah. You wouldn't aggressively play a back cut like this with super power low left English and try to spin around there 3 or 4 cushions, would you?
Well, I mean, he may. But, I mean, I wouldn't know.
Better keep your head still here if that's what you're doing.
No kidding.
And yeah, that's what he did. There's
like
4 cushions.
It's nothing, too. Look at this. He's going to hit the 9? No?
Yeah, he hit a great ball there. I'm not sure he got rewarded.
Well, yeah, he's got it.
He's got to play the combination then.
Oh, I don't know. I think it'll go in the corners, looking like.
Oh, if it does, outstanding. But that 9 ball seems to be impeding the direct access to the corner.
I think he can let it walk in.
He might just be playing it straight in the side.
Yeah, he may be.
No, safety.
Safe.
Okay, good job. Yeah, good job.
That was a tough ball to get on, though.
Yeah,
from the angle that he got, and then that 3-rail draw like that. Wow.
4 cushions, unbelievable position play. I mean, that was aggressive, and you're not even guaranteed. It's an iffy shot to an iffy shot, position-wise.
Yeah, and that's the kind of shot you expect C. Reyes hit. By the way, he hits that back, draw across the table so well.
Well, that requires super firepower. That's one of those. Don't try that at home, folks. These are highly trained professionals for that one.
Or try it at home first, and don't try it in a match.
3 cushions, contact.
Going to hit the 8.
Yeah, good job there. Ralph is satisfied with that outcome, no matter what.
Well, Biado's left with an opportunity, though, here.
Yeah. But, I mean, from where he was at, he's happy to leave him. At least it's missable.
He's already shown he's got the power to get around the table, so 3 rails around the table again.
Yeah, this is going to be
Cut this in.
just top spin, all ball pocketing. You don't have to worry about position. You just worry about that ball. 'Cause you try to be cute at all with this one, you'll miss it for sure. Yeah, he raised his head too. He felt the pressure.
Well, and he also put spin on it, so you might have been right on the all top too, just straight top, no spin. But look at the position on the 8. He did get there had he made it.
Yeah.
But the had he made it part being the key issue there.
Well, he played at that speed for the unlikely, or if he likely missed the ball, a great chance for separation. Where if he goes soft, then you don't get that degree of separation.
Well, what do we see Souquet do here, Mark?
I think he may power up on this one, stun it over to the side cushion and come back around, or maybe even just stun it over and go 2 cushions, just keep it on the far end of the table, not try to be, well, he's spiking down.
The big draw, yeah. Over to the side rail and all the way down with it. Low right English.
Yeah, no good. He played it that way for the separation factor himself.
Well, the bad news is he's left a shot that rolls naturally to the 8.
Yeah. If I was going to take that shot on like Ralph did, I would have not tried to go for the separation too. I would have just gone ahead and gone all out to make it, or I would have played safe, because it's just too likely to leave this type of a shot. And there's not the nerves with this one that there would be in other ones, because he didn't necessarily have to get back to the table. So, well, I guess Ralph was right. Oh, that's hideous. Off the end rail, in the side pocket.
And Ralph on the hill, he's saying, thank you very much.
Right. Yeah.
Pocket this in the corner, drop down for the 8, 9 in the side, and 10 ball. And the fat lady's already done with her opera. You know, this is the thing that I admire about the deliberate nature of Ralph. If you noticed, he came down, looked at this. He knows right where he wants to be now. So shoot this, come up for the 9. Mm-hmm. You know?
Oh,
and voila.
Yeah, you give him a look at the finish line, Ralph's going to close it out.
Yes, sir.
He respects the game and his opponent that much. He knows that he doesn't have to get a second chance.
And there it is, straight in on the 10. Ideal positioning and ready to go for the match.
Great win there by Ralf Souquet, and this was really a complete performance. It was flawless execution coupled to mental tenacity. That's the way I saw it.
Good call from the beginning, Mark. You were sitting there with Ralph in the chair saying, you know what? Doesn't matter if it's 6-1 or 6-2, whichever it was. You know, when this guy stands up and goes to work, all can turn around. And sure enough,
yeah, he was focused.
Definite turnaround.
Yeah, he withstood quite a flurry. So, once again, thanks everybody for joining us. On behalf of ACCUSTATS, the worldwide leader in billiards broadcasting, so long for just a while.